What's up, guys? Matt right here, FullLines.com. Let's talk some Thursday night football. It is the Bucs and the Bills. Sitting right now, 8.5 in favor of the home Bills. Anywhere from 42.5 to 43 as we record this on the total. Guys, of course, everything we do, absolutely free. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below. Let's talk some football all season long. And, of course, doing that every day, 24 hours a day over in the Discord, which you see right here in the upper right-hand corner of thelines.com. So, what do we have here from an injury standpoint? I look at this, and Josh Allen's not listed on the injury report. I think he's not 100% healthy. I get it. No one's 100% healthy at this point in the season, but I think there might be a little bit more going on than what we're getting. That being said, no injury designation for him, just listed right shoulder on the injury report. We do know that Dawson Knox is out. He will have wrist surgery, so he's out for multiple weeks. What does that mean for Dalton Kincaid? We will have to see. Does he get the increased looks? Does he get the increased role? Or do they start to do some other stuff with the offense? So doesn't necessarily mean one for one. You know, Knox goes out, then Kincaid gets all the targets. That's not necessarily how it works. Ed Oliver is questionable for the Bills. Of course, a big piece of that defensive line. Limited practice all week. So at least maybe trending in the right direction for Oliver in that one. And Von Miller, even though he was limited earlier in the week, did get in a full practice on Wednesday, so he's going to be good to go for this Buffalo Bills team. There was a lot of question marks around the Bucs, which was going to make this game kind of hard to handicap. That being said, we got the injury news on Wednesday. Baker Mayfield officially listed as questionable. However, he did get in a full practice on Wednesday. Typically means he's going to go. Vita Vea technically listed as questionable. DNP'd all week long. Typically means he's not going to go. Kind of reading between the lines with all of this. And then Chris Godwin also listed as questionable. That being said, he got in a full practice on Wednesday as well. So I guess barring any setbacks, I would assume in pregame warmups with Baker Mayfield and Chris Godwin, they are both going to go for the Bucs. And they also activated Chase Edmonds, running back Chase Edmonds, off the injury report as well. So Chase Edmonds going to be able to go. We know the defensive injuries on the Bills at all three levels, which has really kind of shown up here the last couple of weeks. It's just been brutal, right? You're so beat up defensive line, linebacker, corner, all of that. It's just hard in the NFL to overcome when you're just beat up at every level, you know? And so we kind of saw that all come back around. Fortunately for them, the Bucs come to town. Bucs have been dragging ass as well. Can't really get anything done. I mean, they move the ball okay, just can't get anything done in the red zone. They just cannot score at all. Play calling really weird at times. Running when they really just shouldn't. They really should just almost abandon the run altogether. They're one of the worst rush teams in all of the NFL, and that's not just my opinion. That is the statistics. If you look at what we see with the Bucs, they are the 32nd rate rush offense according to success rate. They are 30th rush offense according to DVOA. If you look at their EPA rush offense, 30th. You get the picture. They can't run at all. They might as well just throw every single down. I look at this Bills team, and yeah, they're not going to be as good moving forward. Dawson Knox, kind of a quiet contributor to this team, but certainly someone that they're going to feel a loss from. But I don't think that Tampa's the team that really is going to be the one to put this offense completely under wraps, right? Just bottle them up completely. And so I think when we look at the defense, it kind of plays into what you would want if you're Buffalo anyway. Buffalo really wants to throw the ball, doesn't really want to run a ton with Cook. They do when they have to, but if you kind of look at where they are, they're really good at passing the ball, really efficient passing the ball. And then you have a Tampa Bay defense that is towards the bottom. Certainly bottom half, if not kind of bottom third of the league when it comes to pass defense as well, which kind of leads me to the first play in this one. I don't really have a side. Listen, I think this is an excellent teaser leg. If you want to take Buffalo down to 2.5, they just got to cover a field goal at home. There are plenty of teaser options available for you this week. And so finding a dance partner will not be tough at all. Actually, we can look right here and I can show you real quick at what we've got going on in week 8. But I mean, as far as like teaser partners, you can see, I mean, you could do non-traditional with the Eagles there at 6.5. A little bit further here, Steelers up to 8.5. You could go Packers up to 7.5 if you wanted to go that direction. You could go a non-traditional on the Cowboys. You could take the Colts up to 7.5 if you wanted to do that. This has been toggling between 2.5 and 3, so you could take the Panthers up to 8.5. You could take the Titans up to 8.5. You get it. There's just a ton of options this week. Take the Chiefs down against the Broncos. You could take the Ravens down at 8.5, down to 2.5. Same deal over here with the Chargers, so you can see, and lines. I mean, just a million different options this week for you if you did want to play a teaser on this. So that's the way I would just go about this. I'm not looking to get the Bills to cover the 8.5 here on a short week. What I am going to do is, though, look at this total. And if I believe that the Bills are still going to be able to go out and pass the ball in Tampa, and Tampa, if you look, their pass offense has actually been all right. Like, they've been able to be okay. And I was going to just completely do a pass on this total until we got the injury report, in which Baker good to go, Godwin good to go, getting Chase Edmonds back, all of that. I see a pretty short 42.5 here, and I'm okay with that. If it's 43 by the time you get to it, I'm okay with that as well. 43.5, still playable. 44 gets a little dicey just mainly because it increases the push equity just so much more. 43, 44 are key numbers when it comes to totals. And so that said, if it got on the other side of 44, that's when it's a pass, right? So all the way up to 44, I'm okay with playing an over. Just understand that your likelihood just decreases just a tad each time, given how popular the 43 and the 44 number are in totals. I'll scroll down a little bit here. You can read some of the preview that's written about this game, but I'm going to play the over. I'm going to play the teaser leg on the Bills. And then from a prop standpoint, I think this is a pretty interesting game. Not a ton really went off the rails for me when I ran my numbers comparatively to what we're going to be getting, but you do look, and if you see the pace of the Bucs, right? So they have not had what would be called a slow-paced game yet. They've either been fast or neutral. There's been the last two games, and of course game state plays into all of this, right? But I mean, they've been pass heavy over the last couple of games as well. And then if you go to Buffalo and kind of see how they want to play, it is, again, mostly either neutral to fast pace and mostly pass heavy to pass tendency games. So with all of that, if we're getting faster paced teams that want to pass, et cetera, that also another reason that leads us to the over, and then also another reason why it kind of leads me to one of the guys that I want to look at here, and the big discrepancy for me from a prop standpoint. And again, if you don't use this yet over on the site, it's my favorite thing that we have over there, the player prop tool. So just go to the homepage, player prop tool, come in, and we're going to type in Mike Evans. And this was my biggest discrepancy from the line to what I have projected. You see the 56.5 that's listed right here. I'm at 71 in this one for him. So a pretty decent little edge in my personal opinion with Mike Evans. Look, Mike Evans is running a route on 80% of dropbacks, right? He's getting a quarter target share. He's getting a 25% target share. So he's getting every fourth pass is heading in his direction. He's getting balls down the field as well, which helps for an over like this. His average depth of target is 13.5 yards on the season. He's gotten 40% of the air yards that Baker Mayfield has thrown over the course of the season so far. So again, like Mike Evans, I don't want to go receptions necessarily for Mike Evans in this, even though I don't think it's a terrible bet, but because Mike Evans can get you to a total like this on 2 catches, right? He is a guy that goes down the field, and getting Godwin in there makes this better for me. If they didn't have to pay attention to Godwin as well, I would be off of this Mike Evans bet, but with Godwin back in there, it is one that I'm pretty interested in on Mike Evans here on the over 56.5, given the pace that these teams play, that both of them we're probably going to see an increased number of plays for both teams since they pass as much as they do. And then also this Bills defense is beaten up, and with that, I think that we're going to see, at least a little bit of success, continued success, I should say, from this Bucks pass offense, which has actually been a little better than league average so far throughout the course of the season. So for me, pretty simple here. Let's take the Bills down to 2.5 if we want to play this on the side. And like I said, a million different partners this week if you want to go that direction. I like the over. Would play up to 44, but just understand your push equity on 43 and 44 increases a ton. We do still have that 142.5 that's out there. So we would want to go in that direction as we saw up here. And then, of course, the Mike Evans prop is how we're going to go from a prop standpoint. Guys, everything we do, absolutely free, so be sure. And if anything changes, head over to Discord. We'll be putting stuff in there throughout the course of the day. And you can follow me on the Twitter machine at MattBrownM2 for any of my changing thoughts throughout the course of the day as well. If we get some news that, oh, by the way, Baker's not going to play or Godwin's not going to play, then this Mike Evans prop isn't as appealing to me. Obviously, if Baker doesn't play, this Mike Evans prop is garbage. But again, looks like he's going to play full practice on Wednesday. Same thing with Godwin, full practice on Wednesday. Looks like we're going to have those guys out there. Head over to Lions.com. Follow us on this page. If you don't already, hit that subscribe button. Let us know in the comment section how you are playing this. And good luck on all your bets for Thursday Night Football.